Do you want to play Call of Cthulhu and you kind of want to play it within the next hour or two? Well, stay tuned to this video because I got two modules that you can do that with, even if you're brand new. Hi everyone, my name is Justin and welcome to Game On, show all about tabletop gaming from RPGs to board games and everything in between. So it is spooky season, October, when I am filming this, and I've gotten a lot of questions about Call of Cthulhu and Call of Cthulhu modules. There are some people who want to be able to pick up and play some Call of Cthulhu. Either they've played it before or they've never played it before, and they just want a couple of hours of gaming on Halloween night or just in general. So I'm going to tell you two modules that will help you do that. And if you want to learn more about Call of Cthulhu and see more Call of Cthulhu content, don't forget to hit subscribe and like this video so that I know that you guys want to see more. So let's get on to module 1. So I'm going to preface with the fact that both of these modules are completely free. I'll have a link in the pinned comment where you can get both of these for 100% free. Zero money whatsoever. I don't get paid for it. I don't get any kickbacks for sending it to you. It's just 100% free. And on top of that, they both have a free Roll20 game on Roll20 that you can just download, and it's already all pre-built. So if you don't even have time to cut handouts out or even print stuff off for your players, just go and play it on the Roll20. It's all there for you. So the first module I'm going to talk about, I think you should get anyway, even if you have more interest in the second module I'm going to talk about. The first module is called The Haunting. Now, why do I think you should get this? Well, one, it's the kind of iconic intro to Call of Cthulhu game scenario out there. But on top of that, it has the Call of Cthulhu Quick Start rules. It helps you as a player learn how to quickly get up and play the game, and it helps new keepers get up to speed really quickly and run the game. You can read the rule set in probably half hour to 45 minutes, kind of get a good idea of how the game starts and how it flows. Okay, so this module does come with the quick start rules, which are nice and handy to have as a player and a keeper, but why do I like this module so much besides having the rules? And that is, it is the quintessential haunted house scenario. As players, you are tasked with investigating why this mansion house is haunted. Is it haunted? I don't know. You have to go and figure that out. Why is that so cool to me? I just like the idea of a haunted house. My wife and I like to go to haunted houses. I like modules like Death House and Curse of Strahd. I like those kinds of things where you're in an enclosed area and you have to find all the spooky stuff that's going on within it. It's a locked room kind of scenario where you have to be quick on your feet and quick thinking about how you want to solve some of the tasks and mysteries that are put in front of you. So the locked room scenario is really kind of fun, but I like how this module also gives you a little bit of room to breathe. There is a bit of a sandbox element in the beginning because it is highly suggested that the investigators go to the local newspaper and to the Hall of Records to investigate who owned the house, what the history of the house is. Did something weird happen in this house? Why would people think it's haunted? I like that roleplay aspect, and it also kind of gives you the mindset of what a Call of Cthulhu player should think of. It's not just like D&D or other action-oriented games where you kick down the door and try to find the bad guy. It's, why is there something going on here? We can't fight it, but maybe if we have a better idea of what is happening, we can figure out a way to solve the mystery without getting our butts kicked by some ethereal monster. I love that you get this little bit of free flow roleplay opportunity. This is kind of the big roleplay opportunity at the Hall of Records and the Boston Globe, which is what, depending on where you set it, you can change the name of that, but it's called the Boston Globe in the scenario. And then you finally go to the locked room scenario. I just like that ability to let your players breathe a little bit before going into the locked room scenario. Now, this scenario does have some combat if you really go looking for it. Call of Cthulhu isn't really a fighting kind of RPG. If you want that, look for maybe Pulp Cthulhu. This is a really good job of helping teach you, your players, that the investigators aren't really trying to go up against these supernatural creatures. You have to figure out a different way to kind of circumnavigate the bad guys in front of you, or the problems. You can't just solve your problems with swinging a big axe at it or shooting it to death with a 45. The Haunt is a quintessential scenario that comes with rules, comes with handouts. If you want that locked room, haunted house feeling with a little bit of room to breathe in the beginning and some roleplay opportunities, I highly suggest this free scenario. And again, I don't get anything out of this. It's 100% free, and if you keep it, you can keep the quick rules, so the quick start rules, so you can run your own homemade game after this. Hey, if you like this content, please subscribe for more Call of Cthulhu. The second scenario I recommend that you can read and prep and get ready to play in less than an hour is The Lightless Beacon. There is something creepy about lighthouses. Maybe it's the isolationism that you get from it, being out in the middle of nowhere, especially in a storm. If you've seen The Lighthouse with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, it's just two characters in that whole movie, and there's a whole tension with it. It's a good movie, but there's something really creepy about lighthouses. I'm fascinated by lighthouses, and I love them. So what happens in this scenario, it forces you into a locked room situation where you are stuck on an island with a lighthouse. Now, unlike The Haunt, you don't have a whole lot of room for roleplay, and there's not like a whole lot of room to breathe here. So if you have players who have a hard time making decisions, or you don't think that your players would be able to take the initiative to do things, maybe the Lightless Beacon is the great way to start, because it's like a dungeon. It's very linear. You have a few choices, but they kind of all lead to the same ending and the same thing. It's just the means to an end. This is a very atmospheric module because there's a storm going on. It's got creatures that Lovecraft has created that are iconic. I don't want to spoil which ones they are, but it's a lighthouse on the water. You can probably figure out what Lovecraft creatures might be in or around this island. It puts you in, again, this locked room scenario where you have to figure out how to fight off or circumvent these creatures, these nasty things that you don't really have a chance of killing, and trying to just hold out until you get rescued? I don't want to get into the ending too much, but it's got an investigation, it's got a couple different places you can explore, and it's got kind of a fun little fisticuffs portion of the game where it still teaches the players that fighting these creatures is probably not the best idea, but it gives you a little bit of extra room than The Haunt for combat if you're really looking for it as players. Again, if you're looking for combat as players in Call of Cthulhu, I suggest Pulp Cthulhu. I have a video on it up there. But the Lightless Beacon is just, again, it's another quintessential type of module scenario where you're isolated in a storm and there are things crawling out there in the shadows and you just don't know what they are or what they do. You have to figure out who was here, why is this lighthouse suddenly not working. There are tons of handouts, there are maps, there are pre-made characters in this too, so you don't even have to learn how to make a character. You can just pick up and play with the characters. Again, this is also on Roll20 full free module. I don't make any money telling you this. You can go right to Roll20 if you want nothing to do with, cutting out handouts and playing in person. If it's easier for you to play over Discord with these tools on Roll20, please, I really suggest going and giving it a try. The Lightless Beacon is also a game that we will be playing here on Game On with my Patreon patrons. We're going to be doing a one-shot for Halloween of 2024, so make sure to stay tuned for that. It is such a fun module, and hopefully it'll get your mind going on, yeah, I can run and play this game. It's not that difficult. I promise you, you'll love it. If you guys want more Call of Cthulhu content, please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button so I know. If there's any other modules that you guys suggest, please let us know in the comments, because we learn from you guys, and if there's more awesome low prep one-shots that can get more people into this game, I'm all for it, and I want everyone to share those. So again, my name is Justin. I thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, game on.